What's up, guys? Cody Bertrand here. I just wanted to go over with you guys real quick my tournament recap of the first Southern Bassmaster Open at the Harris Chain Lakes down there in Leesburg, Florida. And I just got home 2 days ago. Just got the boat unpacked and everything, and now I'm just wanted to go over with you guys what I found in practice, what I kind of did in the tournament, and how everything kind of played out for me. So, first off, I did not have the finish I wanted. It was a weird deal, man. I really was not expecting to bomb that bad, but I did get my limit both days. And I really did have a pretty interesting practice that clued me in on a few deals that I felt really, really good about going into the tournament. And so first off, how I started my practice was the Harris Chain of Lakes is a chain of like 6, 7 different lakes. Might be more, I'm not exactly sure, but it's a big chain of lakes, and it's easy to get spread out. So I definitely did not want to get spread out. So my first few, like, I guess you'd call pre-practice days, I really just, coming into it, I picked 2 or 3 lakes that I really wanted to focus on when the tournament got closer. But while I had time to just pre-practice down there, I went to pretty much almost all of them, all the lakes, and just sampled them and see what was going on and look at watercolor and all that. And I really learned from that a lot of the lakes got sprayed really badly before we got down there, and a lot of the hydrilla was either gone completely, or if whatever was there, whatever was left was really in bad shape from all the spraying and everything that they were doing. So I really had it narrowed down to Little Harris and Griffin. So I basically went to Little Harris my first official day of practice, and I didn't get back there till the very back of Little Harris Lake, was where I ended up finding some fish. I got back there, and I didn't get back there till about 10 o'clock, and I found that it was some of the best hydrilla I'd found since I've been there, and the water was really clear. And another thing I noticed right off the bat is the bait. The bait was everywhere. Like, I mean, you get up there close where in about 3-4 foot of water, you can really see everything. And there was every clump of hydrilla had an 1 to 3 inch size shad on it. And birds were dive bombing. I wasn't in there more than 5 minutes, and I got bit on a Strike King sexy dog in the oyster color. I've caught a lot of fish on that bait, and whenever you got either a shad spawn deal going on or shallow grass, clear water, I just love to throw a spook style bait, especially with the water temperature being in the 70s. It warmed up really, really quick too. We had a stretch of like 3 days where it was in the upper 80s and almost 90s, and when it warms up that quick, and you find a shad spawn like that, typically you can catch a couple on top water. So I wasn't in there more than probably 10-15 minutes, and I caught me a 3.5, almost 4 pounder, and I was like, okay. So then worked my way around, and I think it was ending. I noticed the shad spawn kind of dissipated, like just kind of ended around 10 o'clock. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna come in tomorrow morning, get in here earlier so I can really see if it's actually happening in here. And so that's what I did. I went and did some other stuff, and next morning I went back there, and same thing was happening. They were blowing up everywhere, and I actually got off of the main spot where I caught that topwater fish and started flipping some pad stems around the same general area with a Zoom Magnum trick worm in June bug, and I had that on a 1/4 ounce Eco Pro Tungsten bullet weight. And I was just flipping it around, and literally the first clump of pads I flipped into, I shook off an absolute giant. And then I caught another like 2.5 in that same clump, and I think it was a pair of them that were in there. They were either spawning or they were just in there, but there was for sure 2 different fish on that clump. So it clued me, and I said, okay, I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna probably start tournament here. And then I ended up going to Griffin for the remainder of practice, and I ended up finding a couple, kind of similar deal, not really a shad spawn, but at least the first day I was there, I went there on that Tuesday, the second day of official practice, and I ended up shaking off like 20 to 25 bites, and what I was finding was holes in the hydrilla in about 7 to 8 foot, and then I did find one other place that was in about 5 foot that was kind of the same thing. I found like one magic clump that had like a hard place right in front of it, and And I sat there and either caught one or shook one off in 10 and 10 casts. And I was really excited about that. And then, and that was all on the Magnum trick worm. And then, so I left that, and then I said, okay, well, I found all that, and I said, I'm going to go back Wednesday morning. We only get till noon on that final day of practice. So I went and started my morning in Griffin, and I ended up stumbling onto another shad spawn that morning in Griffin. And that's when I found that, I could see them swirling. They weren't really blowing up. They were just swirling. You'd see the bait flicker, and it would just be a big swirl. And that's what made me think they were really big ones, because typically the real big ones, they don't blow up. They just kind of swirl on it. So I was like, okay. So I grabbed a jerkbait. I grabbed a Mega Bass Vision 110 jerkbait in white color. I'm not exactly sure what the name of the color is, but this is what I threw. It seemed to really just glow in that watercolor on Griffin. So, and literally my fifth cast with this thing, and I caught a 4.5, 4.25, whatever. It was well over 4, and that clued me in. And then next third cast after I caught that fish, I caught another one, almost 3 pounds. And then the cast after that, I came back with like 2 shad hanging off my hook, and I said, okay, there's definitely a shad spawn happening here. And what it was is, it was literally just an eelgrass edge with some shell on the edge of it, and like 5 foot. And I was able to maintain keeping this up higher, and just to the point where I could just get it to the edge of the eelgrass, and just get it to hang on it just enough to pop it free right on that edge, and they were hitting it. So that was another cool deal. And I found one other shell spot with patchy eelgrass on it, and I went over it with a chatterbait, a 3/8 ounce Z-Man chatterbait with a Zoom baby Z-Craw on the back. And got a little chartreuse in there and everything. I caught a small one, and then I went in there with a rattle trap too, and I ended up catching one just under 4. And I said, okay, so that was my practice really. I had a really good 3-hour flurry on that final Wednesday, and I said, okay, what I was thinking is, if I can just start in Little Harris, and then maybe get out of there about 10:30, 11, go lock through, hit my little rotation of spots on Griffin, and see where that'll have me. So day 1 of the tournament, I draw a boat 158. Not good. I ended up getting to that first spot on Little Harris, and there turned out to be like, I don't even know how many boats. There was probably 15 boats in there. Like, there was no way you're gonna get in there. So I kind of ended up fishing off of the spot with a chatterbait and a Spro Roku shad, and just kind of fan cast all around. Caught my limit really quick with a chatterbait, and it just didn't. They weren't big, man. They were like 1.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds, pushing 2 pounds. I caught 1 2-pounder, and that was it, man. I had 8 pounds on day 1, and I was never able to get into that real key sweet spot on Little Harris. But that's the luck of the draw, man. You gotta plan for that kind of stuff, because there's always a chance of that happening. And so I wish I should have tried planning a little bit better, find a couple more backup places in case that did happen. But it is what it is, guys. And so 8 pounds day 1, I was in like the hundreds or whatever. So then day 2, I go out, same kind of thing. I draw boat 65, and I get in there, and there's already like 5 or 6 boats on the deal. I was able to get a little bit closer, but not too, I wasn't able to get in there that close and where I wanted to be. Still caught my limit, caught about 7 pounds, and I ended up not going to Griffin that second day, because day 1, it was complete dead sea. I did not catch anything. I caught 1 2-pounder on Griffin. So I said, man, I'm not on day 1. So I said, I'm not going to lock back through. I'm going to stay in Little Harris. I'm going to go expand on a few little things in Big Harris that I had ideas about, but I really didn't even get any bites in Big Harris in practice. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to go fishing and just kind of see. And it never really ended up panning out. But it is what it is, guys. Hindsight's always 20/20. It's really easy to look back at stuff. But I truly do think I made the right decisions in practice, and just as far as locating the right fish in the right areas and understanding what I was really fishing for. And yeah, so it sucks to bomb. I think I finished like 140 something, but Man, we're fishing all of them this year, and there's going to be plenty more opportunities. We're actually getting ready to go here for Smith Lake in a little bit. So I appreciate you guys watching along, and all these baits that I talked about, the Sexy Dog, the Magnum Trick Worm, Eco Pro Tungsten weights, the Mega Bass Vision 110 jerkbait, and a Z-Man chatterbait 3/8 ounce with that Zoom Z-Craw on the back. You can find all those at 44 Tackle on their online store or in store. They're out of Inverness, Florida, so check them out, guys. I know tournament season's really ramping up now, so get all the tackle you need over there, guys. They're great people, and they'll really take care of you. So stay tuned, guys, and we'll see you at the next one.